Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Chương trình của chúng tôi cung ứng nhiều ngôn ngữ. Xin xem suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Our world is not a place of rest, but where a man may take his little ease until the landlord gives that apartment to another guest. Please continue watching to hear more of the intriguing poetry of renowned Arab poet Abu al-Ala al-Maarri.
Ahlan wa sahlan, dear viewers. Ahlan wa sahlan means welcome in Arabic, the official language of Kuwait. I'm Fahad. The respectful people of Kuwait find confidence in having you as a loving neighbors in the divine's countless blessings. Abu al-Ala al-Maarri is considered as one of the greatest classical Arab poets. Born near Aleppo, Syria in 973, al-Maarri, also a writer and philosopher, came from a notable family of the famous ancient tribal confederation called Tanuk. At the tender age of 4, he became virtually blind due to an illness which would later have a profound impact on his view of life. Abu al-Ala al-Maarri received his education in Aleppo, Antioch, and other Syrian cities, as well as in Baghdad, where he gained prominence through his writings, although he preferred not to sell any of his works. Around 1010, he returned to his birth town, Maarri al-Nu'man, where he remained until the end of his life. There he was highly respected as a scholar as he continued his dedication to writing, collaborated with others, and attracted many local students despite his ascetic and secluded way of life. Al-Maarri is remembered for his ideas for social justice, equality between people, and freedom of thought and expression. He saw life mostly as a burden to the soul, an experience for which one needs to learn reason in order to distinguish the truth from the false. He believed in God, but not in human established religions as he understood them. History also reports that some of the Arab philosophers' deep impressions may have come after he heard Hellenistic philosophy debates. His collections of poetry include The Tinder Spark, Saktuzand, and Unnecessary Necessity, Luzum ma la yalzamu. Al-Maarri is thought to have influenced Dante Alighieri's famous poem, Divine Comedy, as well as the Persian philosopher and poet Omar Khayyam, and many medieval writers of the West. Abu al-Ala al-Maarri was a compassionate vegan, describing his decision of saving and respecting the lives of the gentle animals in a poem called I No Longer Steal from Nature. We will now continue reading some of the poems by the beloved Arab philosopher Abu al-Ala al-Maarri. The verses boldly express the poet's penetrating views on life, namely the intensely observed way in which people were modeled to lead their lives according to certain patterns. A key quote of the poet states, I was made an abstainer from mankind by my acquaintance with them, and my knowledge that created beings are dust. A verse from the Diwan of Abu al-Ala. I think our world is not a place of rest, but where a man may take his little ease, until the landlord, whom he never sees, gives that apartment to another guest. Mortality, the bitter draught of life. Oh, let us go, whom nature gave fair minds, and taught us to hold courage firmly fast, to meet the fates pursuing us, that we may die at the last. The draught of life, to me it seems, a bitter thing to drain, and see, in bitter truth we spew it out again. Guidance of confusion. Birth I chose not, nor old age, nor to live. What the past grudged me shall the present give? Here must I stay, by fate's two hands constrained, and not leave until my leaving is ordained. You who would guide me out of dark illusion, you lie. Your story contains nothing but confusion. For can you alter that you brand with shame? Or is it not unalterably the same? Who is saved from the grave? Age after age entirely dark hath run, when not one dawn revealed a rising sun. Things change and pass, the world unshaken stands, with all its western, all its eastern lands. The pen flowed and the fiat was fulfilled, the ink dried on the parchment as fate willed. Could the king his governors around him save, or Caesar his patricians from the grave? The arrogant beneath our feet. It's sorrow enough that after he roamed at will, the days beckon a man and say, "Live and enter now a grave." How many times have our feet trodden beneath the dust, a brow of the arrogant, a skull of the debonair? Life's short thread. When I would string the pearls of my desire, alas, life's too short, thread denies them room. Huge volumes cannot yet contain entire man's hope. His life is but a summary of doom. Perish or live in pain. Over many a race the sun's bright net was spread, and loose their pearls, nor left them even a thread. This dire world delight us though all sup, all whom she mothers from one mortal cup. Choose from two ills, which rather in the main suits you, to perish or to live in pain. Shattered like glass. We laugh, but inept is our laughter. We should weep and weep sore, who are shattered like glass, and thereafter remolded no more. Those who falsely lead us, leaders wrong their subjects. My stay in the world is wearisome. How long shall I associate with a people whose leaders command what is not good for it? They wronged their subjects, allowed themselves to deceive them, and neglect their interests, although they are their hirelings. Servants of the people. If we consider things well, they surely disclose this secret. The people's leader is the servant of those he rules. Religion and superstition. Creation reveals a lack of sense. You said a wise one created us. That may be true, we would agree. Outside of time and space, you postulated. Then why not say at once that you propound a mystery immense, which tells us of our lack of sense? A spoken lie enforced by blood? Had they been left alone with reason, they would not have accepted a spoken lie, but the whips were raised to strike them. Traditions were brought to them, and they were ordered to say, "We have been told the truth." If they refused, the sword was drenched with their blood. They were terrified by scabbards of calamities and tempted by great bowls of food offered in a lofty and condescending manner. Death's debt is paid in full. Death's debt is then and there paid down by dying men, but it is a promise bearer that they shall rise again. Scenes that stun introspection. For his own sordid ends, the pulpit he ascends, and though he disbelieves in resurrection, makes all his hearers quail whilst he unfolds a tale of last day scenes that stun all introspection. The hand lies open. Your thought kindled a fire that showed beside you a path while you were seeking light to guide you. Stargazers, charmers, soothsayers are cheats. All of that sort of cunning greed dissemble. However much the aged beggar's hand may tremble, it none the less lies open for receipts. Creator of wrongs. If criminals are fated, it's wrong to punish crime. When God earth's ores created, he knew that on a time they would become the sources for sword blades dripping blood to flash across the manes of horses. Iron curb, iron shod. Creeds as fairy tales. So to the creeds of man, the one prevails until the other comes, and this one fails. When that one triumphs, I, the lonesome world, will always want the latest fairy tales. What is religion? What is religion? A maid kept close that no eye may view her. The price of her wedding gifts and dowry baffles the wooer. Of all the goodly doctrine that I from the pulpit heard, my heart has never accepted so much as a single word. Fools awake! O fools awake! The rights ye sacred hold are but a cheat contrived by men of old, who lusted after wealth and gained their lust, and died in baseness, and their law is dust. A little doubt is better. Traditions come from the past, of high import if they be true. Aye, but weak is the chain of those who warrant their truth. Consult thy reason. Of all the conference, reason best we counsel and guide. A little doubt is better than total credulity. Good-minded viewers, it was an honor to have your company for today's program entitled Expressions of Life, a collection of poetry by Abul Ala Al-Maarri, Vegan, Part 2 of 2 on Words of Wisdom. May your inner knowledge of all beings' interconnectedness keep guiding you in God's everlasting embrace.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.